So they told me not to do it. I still did it. I'm so happy that I did. I turned off my Instagram, I turned off the podcast, and I turned off the YouTube. And I said to myself, I would only come back if I was really clear and if I'd done one thing. I'll get into that in just a second. But my promise in this episode is really to walk you through my plan on how I'm going to 4x my profit, simply so you can do the exact same thing. And also, as a sweet carrot at the end, stick with me to the end, because I want to be able to give you some of the best things that are going to be coming up, the best trainings, the best insights, the strategies as to what I'm doing to be able to grow my partners and my portfolio's businesses for you to be able to do the exact same as well. But before we get into that, let's actually talk about why I turned off the podcast, the Instagram, and the YouTube. And it wasn't pretty, if I could be perfectly honest, because I would scroll through social media, I would listen or watch episodes, and I'd get triggered. I'd get kind of pissed off, if I could be perfectly honest, because I would see people talking a big game, but knowing behind the scenes, there really was not the substance. There was not the results. And I had to look upon myself. Like, if anything, my belief right now is if I'm getting triggered by something, it's because there's some sort of truth. It's because of some sort of reason within myself. It's not the other person or the other thing's problem. It's my problem at the end of the day. I'm the one getting triggered. I had to look upon this and go, all right, well, what is it that I know that is triggering me? Why am I getting pissed off about this? And it was simply because I knew I wasn't living up to and producing the potential that I know was inside of me. And I needed to step back. I needed to step back to build the man. I needed to step back to build the skills, the traits, and the evidence, knowing that I could best show up for you right now and moving forward to be able to give what is actually best in me and the best work that I could possibly produce. And the results? Pretty bloody awesome, because in last year, I was able to take my portfolio, starting it from absolute zero to $31 million in revenue per year. And it was really something I didn't even think was possible when I first started that. And it grew to something amazing. I made tons of mistakes. I will share what those mistakes are as I go through these next episodes and open up about it as well. The first one, all right, great. I took my partner portfolio from 0 to 31 million in revenue a year. I did 172 hours, probably a little bit more, but 172 hours of consultations with 7 and 8 figure online coaching businesses. And I said to myself at the start of last year, I was going to put in the reps. I knew I was going to work to the absolute bone and put in as many reps as I possibly could to be able to do what it is that I do now for my partners, but what I can share with you now, because I'm able to see in such a vast variety and what's going on like a meta level as well, in especially the online coaching business world. I know what's working. I know what's not working. I can see the patterns as to what it is, that what is needed for inevitable success, so that then we can just roll that out. And then also there was the personal stuff as well. Recently, I just clocked in on the scales at 102.4 kilos and being able to stay at under 10% body fat. And it was me wanting to be able to get back into the best shape of my life as well. I also really needed and wanted, no, I needed to work on my marriage. I wanted to be able to show up as a better man, as a better husband. And I needed to be able to show up as a better father as well. And so the distractions of having to produce content, because I felt like I should just produce content for the sake of producing content, it wasn't great. I wasn't happy with the way that I was doing it and the reason why I was doing it. And therefore it was taking away from my family, from my marriage, from my friends, from my friends as well. I wasn't showing up for my close mates. And it was actually one of my really close mates that brought this to light. And it stung. It stung having one of your really close mates say, hey, you've been really in the dark, you're really not showing up, I really don't know what's going on in your life. Had me reflect and go, I've not been a good friend. And that sucks. And I needed to pick my game up from that one. And so through all of that, I've been able to build a better person, which is why I'm here, because I wouldn't be here unless I absolutely knew I was going to be able to be a better version of myself and to be able to give more to you. And that was why we birthed the Rainmakers, which is the solution to being able to make it rain, leads, sales, and profits. Us being able to handle the marketing, the sales, and the acquisition systems inside of our partners' businesses. We very happily have our partners come to us, apply, and we go through that process. I'll take you through that in a second. So essentially, we run the marketing and sales to be able to grow coaching businesses so much faster, to make a predictable, reliable machine that brings in leads, turns them into sales, and just increases profits day after day, week after week, month after month, so that the CEOs, the business owners, the head honchos aren't stressing out about how to actually make that happen as well. Because I made a really clear distinction during this last little stage, and that was I'm not a business coach. The Rainmakers is not a business coaching program or business coaching offer whatsoever. And our model is really simple with the way that I distilled this down. Number one, we're in the game of actually building businesses. We are in the trenches building our partners' businesses. We do not scale by continually having to get more customers and clients. That's not the case of it. We scale through building our partners' businesses and staying in our very tight lane to be able to make that happen. And the second part of the model is we share the strategies, the campaigns, the funnels that we're actually using inside of our partners' businesses so that our members are able to literally just copy, paste, plug and play into their businesses for that to be able to happen as well. So it's just really a two-part model. We have partners and we have members, and they're completely different scales of how that works, but it actually streamlined to be able to kind of work in a very easy way as well. It's not putting more effort onto us. And I'll go into the models in just a second, but that was the way I was able to distill the work that I wanted to do in this next chapter of my life. And that was like, okay, well now, what is this plan for me to be able to 4x my profit in this next year? And I kind of say it as well to be able to put that accountability upon myself, because we could look at the end of the year and I could say, hey, that did not work at all. And this is why it didn't work. And I want to be open and transparent about that as well. Or this worked incredibly well and it was so much bigger. Hopefully we'll be saying that. We'll see how that actually goes. But when I break this down, and the reason why I thought about this, okay, to be able to quadruple the profit. And now I use profit for a reason, is because there are far too many people talking about the amount of contract sales that they made or the top line revenue as well. But yes, okay, but that is not the actual money that you're putting in your back pocket, in your bank account, hair-free for you to be able to use moving forward. And that is where a lot of people are trying to talk, or well, they are talking a big game, but they're not actually doing the distilled results of actually how much profit, how much money you're putting in your back pocket, and are you a happy, great human being doing good in the world also. So the model is, I look at, well, this model I look in for my own business, the Rainmakers, and I look at any of our partners' businesses. And if I'm doing consultations, it's the same process as well. So if I was to sit down with you really quickly over a cup of coffee, I'd probably pull out a napkin and a pen and I'd look at 4 different things. These 4 models. There's the economic model, there is the delivery model, the acquisition model, and the operations model. So I look at all of these to be able to say, I know and I am confident of me being able to get to a certain goal. And it's because the Buddha said when enlightenment and compassion has arisen, that enlightenment is unavoidable. Enlightenment is unavoidable. Now, that is a bold statement to make. Enlightenment, something probably a lot of people in the world want to be able to attain. And he's saying, I have this recipe, and if you follow my recipe, then you are going to be able to attain this. So I'm saying, okay, great. What is the recipe for me to be able to make success in a business inevitable? And this is where I distill this down. One of the frameworks, one of the mental models I look through is going to be through the economic, the delivery, acquisition, and operation. So the actual model myself, the economic model of what we do inside of the Rainmakers. Okay, great. It's 2 parts. There's partners, which is we take on only 2 partners maximum, if any, per month. Because there is so much actual work, like we are literally inside of the business doing the work, sleeves rolled up, if I had sleeves rolled up, being able to do what it is that we needed to be able to do. And 2, there is the actual society. So this is where everyone, the members, are able to get access inside of the society to see the tactics, the campaigns, the funnels that are being run for them to be able to swipe and deploy inside of their own business as well. So it's not coaching, it's simply us showing you what is working and what is not working, so it is that you know what it is you need to be able to do. The society, we decided, was only going to be $100 a week, and that's not even open right now. That's open up really soon. And if you're not on the VIP list, get on the VIP list to be able to get access to that when we open that up.
If you've made it this far, seriously, thank you. I appreciate you being here. But real quick, if you are a coach or consultant who wants to be able to build a self-growing business without bloated team, a big ad budget, or working more than 3 hours a day, then make sure that you hit subscribe, because everything I share here is built for founders just like you, because it's likely that you are done chasing bigger and ready to build better. So let's get back to it.
The delivery model was simple. We go, okay, we know there's the partners and there's the society. So how do we best deliver to this? With partners, we run the marketing, the sales, and the acquisitions. And we only have a team of 4 to be able to do this because we're not trying to get tons and tons of different partners. We keep it really streamlined. And we've got the systems. We know the SOPs that work because we've done it. I have built and sold a coaching company before. I've literally been able to go through this process. And because even still, with the results, I didn't even say this before. 2 other things that just only happened recently was, number 1, I helped my first student actually exit his first coaching business as well, which is amazing. By a stroke of a pen, he made millions of dollars from what he was able to build and grow. Incredible. Second part, I've also taken equity in another business with a private equity firm to be able to build another coaching business. That is our goal, to be able to sell that for multi-8 figures in the next 12 to 36 months also. So it's being able to step back and see and really playing on a bigger field of what's happening, which is why I want to give you this stuff. So the actual delivery model was then, okay, we build and run everything inside of these coaching businesses, and the society is easy. We just simply show you what's exactly happening inside of those. The acquisition model is simple. You apply, we sift through the applications, and then we go through an onboarding process, and then we literally just start work from it. Now, there's obviously a lot more, and I'll cover that in detail in upcoming episodes, but I'm not going to go into too much of it right now. The acquisition model for society, really simple. I'm going to give amazing free stuff away. Stuff that is so much better than so many other people's paid stuff. You're going to want to. It's going to be an absolute no-brainer for you to get access to this free stuff. And also, it's going to be a lot of the stuff such as here on the YouTube, on the podcast, in the Instagram, and doing the plethora of social media channels as well. I'm not going to do all of them, but we'll see how we go with that one. Secondly, we're going to be running $100 workshops. Every month, I'm going to be running a workshop showing you and literally giving you the play-by-play playbook to be able to install and use a certain strategy or funnel inside of your own business. And for a measly $100, it's the biggest no-brainer for you to be able to make, to be able to get access to all of that. The first one and the next one that we're actually going to be running is actually going to be the $1 million DM method, which is I'm going to show you how in one of our other coaching businesses, we're being able to do over $170,000 per month just through a Google Doc and a script. And I'm going to be giving away the actual script and that Google Doc as well for you to be able to make the small amount of changes and literally use the exact same method as well. So that is for it. For $100, have the entire system that we're literally being able to do $1 million of revenue per year in just in one business. And we're now applying this over multiple businesses as well. So this stuff works. Then it really comes down to the operation model. Now, the operation model is simply how does the business, the organization actually run? And there were a couple of key factors. In one of the upcoming episodes, I'm going to show you my 4 rules to how I'm going to do $350,000 a month profit. The rules is the part that I want you to be able to pick up on. And this is where it came to the operation model. I didn't want to be sitting in meetings all day, all week long. I didn't want to be sitting on Slack, having to go through tons of messages and back and forth. I didn't want to feel like I was doing stuff that was outside of my zone of genius. I want to be working with my partners inside of the businesses, actually growing them. And so there was a couple of key critical roles it just had to run by. 1, had to be a small team. I didn't want a big team. I wanted a couple of absolute A players inside where they're just able to do their zone of genius and me knowing that I don't have to parent them before. I had this one point in the last company. It was probably about 9 months before I sold it. I remember we were on a meeting, I cracked the shit. And I was just like, hey, I've got 4 children and I don't want to feel like I'm parenting all of you because I just feel like I'm parenting all of you right now. And to be perfectly honest, it was my fault. I was doing transactional management. Alex Shafran taught me this. And which was simply, I was having to give them or delegate a task out. The team member would go and do it. They wouldn't be able to do it very well because I wasn't able to coach them or show them how to be able to do it actually properly. And then they'll come back to me asking, what do I do now? Terrible way to do it. And I see heaps of people do it because I used to do it as well. So we actually be able to change that. And then it was like the communication cadence inside of the business. We have 1 meeting per week. Tons of our communication is just done asynchronously and all the team members are remote. So we know that we just have a very small amount of time that we need to be able to come together, communicate as what's needed, but we have the systems built around it so that things are really seamless as well. So I share this because I want to be able to, one, show you how I'm doing it inside of my company so that you can do it as well. So I want you to think about right now, okay, your economic model. What is your economic model? How is your business actually going to give you the profit that you want? Can you, on the back of a napkin, scribble these numbers down and know, okay, great, I want this amount of profit, so therefore I need this amount of sales, I need this amount of sales conversations, I need this amount of applications, I need this amount of leads, I need to output these things to get this amount of leads. We're just reverse engineering it backwards. It's not rocket surgery at all when it comes to this. We're just taking all the numbers backwards. So that's the economic model to your business. Secondly, think about the delivery. So you think about, all right, you got to make a promise to the marketplace. How are you going to deliver on that promise? And that is where you nut down, okay, you know exactly what it is that you need to do. From when a client gives you their dollar, they give you the credit card, they say, yes, I'm in, you have an engineered set of steps all the way through to ensure that they're going to have an amazing experience and they're going to get the results that you're actually promising to them as well. Then it's the acquisition model, which is going to be how are you actually going to get somebody from not knowing you to paying you, okay? So what is it? And I use acquisition because I'm merging marketing and sales together. I see way too many businesses have a vast difference between their marketing department and their sales department, and they're not communicating properly. So typically when I come in, we go, hey, we're going to call this acquisition, and we're going to have this seamless organism working together as well. So what is your process to go from not knowing to paying? And then simply the operations model. How does your organization, how's your business, even if it's just you right now, if you are a one man, woman or band, and it's just you, what is the way that you are operating? You need to self-lead yourself through the process, because if it is a case that you are going to be bringing other team members in, then you've got to know how it is that you're doing. Typically, let's use the analogy of a golfer. I'm a terrible golfer and I don't play golf, but I'm going to use the analogy of a golfer right now. If you've got a fantastic golfer, okay, now chances are they've been doing it for so long and they've put so many reps in and they've done it for so many hours, they can't articulate and communicate across the finalities and the details to help somebody else go through that process. They're just going to say, well, that's just what I do. I'm going to use a closer analogy. I'm a meathead. Let's say I'm in the gym. I've trained with little world-class bodybuilders and physique athletes. And when they're doing something and I try and get like, how are you doing that? What is it that you're actually doing? They can't communicate. And there's nothing wrong with them at all. They're being the fantastic athlete that they are. But typically it's the case of they've done it so many times, they can't articulate it back to a beginner. They're so far at the professional, they're so far at the advanced end, taking it back to a beginner's view is typically too hard because it's too far apart of each other. So that's where there is a big disconnect. So that's where you got to think about what is it that you need to be able to go through. So I hope you can take from this and go, right, to be able to 4x your income, the way that we're going to do this and why I want to kind of like, hey, this episode is just, we're setting the groundwork and we're going to think about what are these 4 key models for you to be able to install. Because what I'm going to do and I'm going to give you in upcoming episodes. So if you're not on the VIP list, drop a link below inside of the description for you to be able to get access into that as well. And upcoming episodes are going to include my 4 rules to 350K profit per month. It's going to be the $1 million DEM method, how we're being able to do in just 30 days over $171,000 USD in sales just through a Google Doc and a script, so you get access to that. It'll be the Rainmaker model. I'm actually going to show you. So when I sit down with a partner and why they are so happy to agree to pay us and have profit shares with us, it's because I boil it down to this 8-step method. I'm going to walk you through that Rainmaker model as well, something I'm actually really happy about. But I also want to go into some key critical things, such as why I believe discipline is for amateurs, what I actually believe is the ultimate reading list for entrepreneurs and for you to be able to actually up-level yourself to be able to have the skills to do what it is that you need to be able to do. And also really coming down to how do you succeed not just in business, but how do you succeed in business, with your health, with your family, with your marriage, and with all of these other things as well. How do you have holistic success as well? Not just one-pointed, one-dimensional success. I think that's pretty boring. Let's succeed in all of life. Let's start making less compromises. So I want you to be able to click the link that's in the description to be able to get access to the VIP list so that you can get everything as well. And if you haven't subscribed to the show, then I highly recommend that you do, because it'll be a bummer for you to miss out on all of this stuff. But to get going and to make this highly valuable, I want you to ensure that you're going to apply these 4 models right now. Don't just keep listening or watching something else. Actually go back down to it. And one of the best things that you can do, what I would absolutely truly love, put a smile on my heart, is take a screenshot and send me a DM of you being able to subscribe. So I appreciate you so much for being here with me. I'm looking forward to everything coming up, and I know that it was a bit jarring for a few people, and quite a few people were kind of like, what the hell, Chris, when I turned off the Instagram, the podcast, and the YouTube. But I'm back, and I'm back for a very clear reason, and that is to give you what it is that I know is working, and simply to share my experience as I go through this stuff. I'm not trying to teach you anything. I'm just showing you what is working and what is not working for me, wanting to be as transparent and trying to be as valuable as possible for this to be able to be useful to you as well. So I appreciate you, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next episode.
All right, that's it for today. And if this did hit home for you today, and if you are building a business that's meant to give you more money and more freedom, then I want you to be able to do 2 things before you go. 1, hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because you're a bummer if you missed out on everything else to come. Number 2, grab the link in the description and be able to book in your free demo so you can see the exact systems, the exact process, and you can be able to install it inside of your business. Because remember, this channel is for coaches and creators who want a daily income, simple systems, and to be able to take time off. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.